This is the C-5 Galaxy, standing proud on the tarmac. A metallic beast preparing to devour not one, but two M1 Abrams tanks. What you're looking at isn't just a plane, it's an icon. A flying fortress that's been hauling the heaviest loads on Earth since Nixon sat in the Oval Office. Today, half a century later, Jet Rotor takes you behind the scenes to see why nothing, absolutely nothing, has ever replaced it. The Galaxy's nose doesn't just open, it pivots, lifting the entire front section on hinges the size of trash cans. The result? A gaping mouth 19 feet wide and 13 feet tall, big enough to swallow a city bus whole. That nose alone weighs as much as a fully loaded 18-wheeler, raised by hydraulics pressurized strong enough to slice through steel. Inside, the Galaxy's cavernous bay can carry almost anything. Apache helicopters, Minuteman missiles, or tanks that weigh more than a blue whale. If the US military owns it, this plane can move it. But being able to eat is one thing. Being able to swallow is another. The cargo deck sits 10 feet above the ground, too steep for the steel tracks of a tank, which grip aluminum about as well as ice skates on marble. Push too hard, and 70 tons of tank slides backwards like a runaway train. Push too little, and it won't climb at all. So, the C-5 does something few aircraft can do. It kneels. By adjusting its hydraulics, the landing gear compresses, and the entire jet bows forward, like it's greeting a king. This maneuver lowers the deck to just 3 feet off the ground, making loading as smooth as rolling onto a truck bed. Inside, you realize just how massive this thing really is. There's 121 feet of uninterrupted cargo space, longer than the Wright brothers' first flight. The floor glints with rails and tie-down points, 8,336 in total, each one strong enough to secure a small yacht. Every inch is built for balance and brute strength. During Vietnam, tanks would literally drive through the Galaxy, rolling in from the tail and out the nose, straight into combat zones. Engines roaring, pilots waiting. Today, the same feature just makes loading faster, but the DNA of that battlefield design remains. Every mission begins with precision. A tablet in the hands of the Loadmaster calculates balance, the center of gravity that decides whether this 720,000-pound machine can even fly. Shift 2 tanks just 2 feet too far forward, and the nose won't lift. 2 feet too far back, and the pilot loses control. It's a delicate dance of steel, math, and air. Chains snap tight, 40 per tank, each rated for 25,000 pounds. As the second Abrams climbs aboard, the floor flexes 6 inches under the weight, by design. The C-5's frame bends and distributes pressure through ribs that channel 280,000 pounds into the wings. This plane isn't rigid, it's alive, like a massive steel serpent swallowing its prey. Once the tanks are locked in place, the nose closes with a hydraulic sigh. The Galaxy raises its head once more, ready to take flight. But the real challenge is 3 stories up, in the cockpit. To reach it, you climb a ladder like scaling an office building that just happens to fly. The cockpit sits high above the cargo hold, so the nose can swing open without flipping the pilots upside down. Up here, surrounded by 23 panoramic windows, you finally understand why they call it a Galaxy. Inside, the flight deck looks like NASA's mission control from the Apollo era. analog dials, hundreds of switches, and the scent of hydraulic fluid and history. While most modern planes rely entirely on digital systems, the Galaxy keeps its analog heart. Because when you're delivering tanks across continents, you can't afford a software crash at 40,000 feet. Taxiing this colossus is like steering a ship on wheels. The main gear trails 110 feet behind the nose gear. You turn the nose long before you need to. For takeoff, the crew needs 8,400 feet of runway, a mile and a half of concrete. At 120 knots, there's no turning back. At 140 knots, the pilot pulls. At 155 knots, the Galaxy breaks free from gravity's grip. 4 General Electric TF-39 engines, relics from the era of the Beatles, unleash 172,000 pounds of thrust. Each one gulps 400 gallons of fuel per minute. That's a car's tank every 2 seconds. The aircraft lurches forward, nose climbing to 13 degrees and tail dragging the runway. For 4 long seconds, it balances like a seesaw on its main gear, until finally it flies. 28 wheels retract into 5 compartments. 90 seconds later, the ugly duckling becomes a swan, a massive, fuel-drinking, steel-winged swan. Cruising at 41,000 feet, the C-5 burns fuel by the ton, but remains steady as a rock. Behind the cockpit, a small crew rest area provides bunks and seats, the Galaxy's own version of business class. On an 11-hour Atlantic crossing, the autopilot, nicknamed George, takes over while the crew takes shifts sleeping and monitoring systems. The C-5 carries 51,750 gallons of fuel in 12 tanks, enough to fill your car every week for 40 years. To keep the plane balanced, the flight engineer shifts thousands of gallons between tanks using 11 pumps that act like the aircraft's circulatory system. And when range isn't enough, the Galaxy refuels mid-air. A KC-135 tanker extends a boom above the cockpit, transferring 6,000 pounds of fuel per minute. In one session, the C-5 can take on 200,000 pounds of fuel while flying 400 miles per hour. A flying gas station, fueling a flying city. After 11 hours, the Galaxy begins its descent toward Poland. It has burned 550,000 pounds of fuel, 90 tons, transforming its weight and flight characteristics completely. Still, even at landing weight, it's heavier than a fully loaded 747. Approach begins 150 miles out on a steep 5-degree glide slope. At 10 miles, the pilot lowers the landing gear, 28 wheels fighting 250-knot winds. The sound is thunderous, like a barn roof tearing open. As drag increases, the aircraft slows by 20 knots. The pilot can't even see the main wheels touch down. He flies by instinct, by calculation, by faith in physics. At 50 feet above the runway, throttles idle, nose lifts, and 540,000 pounds of steel kisses the earth. Spoilers deploy, reverse thrusts roar, air and fire collide. Curved vanes redirect the engine's breath forward, slamming the aircraft to a halt with 60,000 pounds of braking force. Runway debris whips forward past the cockpit. The brakes glow red, 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt aluminum. Cooling fans howl for 45 minutes after landing. 6,000 feet later, the Galaxy stops, its mission complete. The nose rises once again, a mechanical yawn after a long day's feast. The aircraft kneels, the tanks roll out onto foreign soil. From California to Poland, 14 hours. 2 continents, 1 aircraft. The Galaxy doesn't need perfect runways. It's landed on highways, dirt, ice. When others can't, it can.